I'm on my way out to the chicken house. The crib is to the right and the chicken house is to the left. And the hog is in the back of these two. This sidewalk ends before it gets anywhere, but actually it used to be the sidewalk to the outhouse. The outhouse used to sit at the end of the sidewalk. Here's the chicken house. It's in need of a coat of paint, but it's doing pretty good. We paint a few buildings every year, so I think this year might be the chicken house. There's a lean-to as well, which we no longer use the lean-to, but we leave it up for shade for the dogs. Actually, we turned it into a dog house, a kennel. And now we're repurposing again back to the chicken house. So, we got our first 25 baby chicks. Here, right as you come in the door, is another door, and as you can see, we turned it in. We're going to leave this for the dogs. There's another door and a window. It used to be where the hens were kept, right inside the door. And I'm going to say goodbye to my dogs because they're feeling a little rambunctious today. And but we had 4 wrens for the dogs here, which I thought, oh gosh, you know, we should have left it for a chicken house. But actually it's going to work out quite well. On the south side are windows, and we've plugged those up. They actually used to be for the dogs to get in and out. There's another window that goes on the bottom and top, and it was actually solar heated. It would heat the concrete on the floor so the chickens would stay warm in the winters, or they are going to stay warm in the winter. This wall was not there. We put it in. It actually slopes quite a bit to the north, and there's only a very short north wall to keep, again, to keep everything warm. And this is where I've got the chicks, the baby chicks. They came the first week in February, and this is the last week in February. I've got some chicken wire there, so when I open the door, they don't come running out. But I will pull that out, and they would be able to come in and out. And I turned this into somewhat of a brooder. And also got their boxes ready. They need, of course, some nesting material in them. But they're up on some bricks, just some regular milk crates that have been cut. They're 12 by 12, which is the standard size for nesting boxes, and blocks on the bottom up off the floor. We won't need this many for 25 chicks. Actually, I'm thinking I should have gotten quite a few more chicks, because now I'm going to have to brood another set and incorporate them together instead of raising them all together. As you can see, they're all happy here. We've got the heat lamp. And it's still getting freezing at night, so I keep it low. Sometimes they're right under it, sometimes they aren't, just depending on the weather, but they're getting quite big. And as you can see, this is where there's insulation right there is actually a door on the outside that opens for ventilation, but this is a very short north wall. We put some board up around so they wouldn't pack the plaster. I think we're going to need to go a little bit higher on that north wall for boards, but there's ventilation in here for the summertime. Like I said, we've got as many brooder boxes right now, or as many as many nesting boxes as there are baby chicks. So we have a lot more than what we need. And this area is huge. I could have easily done 50 chicks, 50 or more, probably more, in this area. We have perches, which they are already hopping up onto this first perch. I started them out with a little perch, as you can see here. It's just some wood that I ran through a milk crate that's on both sides. They love being on the perch, and they love being on even this first perch, which is for the adult chickens, and then a higher perch. So we have the nesting boxes and the perches. Everything's ready for them, but I'm thinking this will probably be more for the hens, but I'm going to turn the next area into more of a area that I can use ongoing for brooding. The baby chicks are doing really well. This is the little rare one. It's hard to see with the red light in here, but I had some high quality bread that was getting ready to go stale. My husband is unfortunately sick and in the hospital right now, so I have some food in the fridge, some cottage cheese that was going to go out of date and different things in. So this is their first treat other than baby chick food, and they are really enjoying it. They seem to be very excited about it. So this is my little brooder house. I don't know, it's about 7.5, 8 feet by 8 feet, something like that. So it's, I guess it isn't so little. I wish I had this going and fixed up for them from the beginning. I closed off some areas that I thought they might get into and get squished into, but with only 25 chicks, they aren't really piling, and I'm not really worried about suffocation. They pile somewhat. If I had 50 chicks, I think I would be very concerned about it because they do pile. But 25 chicks, not as worried about it. Just keeping them out of small corners, have a little bit of wood there. And I'll put some nesting material in the nesting boxes. Take the heat lamps out. I think I'll start some more chicks and make a more of a brooder area. There, I think that this is going to work out really well for them. I'll be back and I'll put their feeders back down. I've just been using some regular medicated food. It's kind of hard to see in here. With these little feeders up on half bricks. And there's the food. I'm getting ready to fill it up and put it in there for later. And then with them with the half blocks there, they don't get as many chips, as many of the pine chips, shavings, as they are really wound up about this food, as they were with the others. So, and they really, like I said, they really like perching. And they are hopping up and perching on the taller perches already. Oh, they're already arguing over it. And there's plenty, as you can see, for everybody. But there's some discussions over this food. Well, it's their first treat. They'll learn. And there's my little Colombian, I think it's pronounced Wyandotte. Such an adorable little bird. Really are getting their feathers. Some of the Colombians, I've noticed, have more of the red, and some are all white. So I was reading a little bit about that, and apparently that's a problem. But you can see some of them are all white, and some of them have a little bit more red on them. It's kind of hard to see in this red light, but I think we've got some pretty good all white ones in there. The next brood, okay, so this is where these guys are going to stay and live. I think they're good to go for quite a while. And I've just put this little chicken wire here that I'm stepping over. So when I open the door, as they get bigger, they won't come running out. This section here is, I'm going to start some more brooding, but I think what I will do is make sure I get all purebreds. And as you can see, I've got some work to do in here because it's just the walls and floor at this point. I need to put, so they don't pack the wall board off, I need to put some plywood around. As you can see, they made sure the concrete came up so critters can't get in and kill the chickens. The chicken house was a good source of money for many years. So there's plenty of light, plenty of place